Hey everyone, thank you for watching today's video. We're obviously going to be getting ready together here on camera, but I'm really excited for this video because it's going to be revisiting old favorites, mostly focusing on my 2016 Best of Beauty video, my big wrap-up video at the end of the year from 2016. So I went through my collection, saw what I still had in here, and those are the products that I'm going to be using today. But I'm also really excited because today's video is a collab video with one of my favorite people here on YouTube, so I'm so excited for this. I'm collabing with Mel Thompson. I love Mel's channel so much. She was actually my creator shout out, I want to say 2 months ago. Every single month when I post my makeup monthly, I do another channel shout out in there, and she was, I think, just a couple months ago. She has such a great channel. She's definitely going to be linked down below. Her video will be down below as well. I highly suggest you go check it out. She has a ton of great reviews over there, and she is someone who gets those new releases. She tries them out. She does first impressions. She gets her reviews up really quick, and I love her channel for that because I'm someone who I like to watch the reviews before I decide if I'm gonna spend my money, and she does a lot of high-end luxury. So her reviews are so helpful, but I definitely recommend checking her out. She posts a ton. I don't know if she posts every day, but I feel like there's a lot of mornings that I see a new video from her in my subscription feed, and I just get so excited for them. So make sure you check out her video, and make sure you check out her channel. Go subscribe if you haven't yet. But yes, we're gonna be revisiting some of our old favorites today. I'll have my 2016 Best of Beauty video linked down below if you wanna see Samantha from a couple years ago talking about her favorite makeup products. But yeah, let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so like I said, this is mostly gonna be focusing on that 2016, that big wrap-up video at the end of the year, but I did not put a primer in that video. Interesting. There was definitely there was definitely a time where I really didn't believe in primers, and apparently 2016 we were still on that. So I'm gonna use the Farsali Rose Gold Elixir. My foundation is a little bit more full coverage, and it's now November. Hello. So that means my skin's about to get drier. So I'm just gonna use some of this oil before my foundation. This might have been mentioned in my 2017 video. I'm not sure, but I know it was a favorite at some point. So I'm just gonna drop a little bit of oil on there and then go ahead and rub this in. I thought it was such a fun idea when Mel and I were talking about what could we collab on, and we decided to do the revisiting old favorites. I was like, yes, I love this idea. I love videos like this, the throwback videos and all of that. I just think they're so much fun. Past favorites videos, I do the flashback favorites, talking about if products are still my favorite. It's just so much fun to reflect back on. And it was really fun to go all the way back to 2016 and be like, okay, what do I still have in my collection? For my foundation, I'm gonna be using the Clinique Beyond Perfecting Foundation and Concealer. I'm in the shade Buttermilk. I used to have a crazy love for this foundation. I was recommending it to everybody. So many of my friends in real life went out and bought this foundation because I was like, you guys don't even understand, this is amazing. Especially all my friends who were getting married in the past couple of years here. I pretty much forced all of them to buy this foundation because it's so nice. I love the finish on the skin. It's natural with a little bit more matte. And that's why I like to do the beauty oil also. But it is a full coverage and it is so long wearing. So especially for brides, I was like, yes, you guys all need this foundation, and so many people bought it because of me. I'm going to be using my beauty blender because I did mention the beauty blender in that video. I think I have the nude one in that video, which I no longer have a beauty blender from 2 years ago, but I'm just going to be using the black beauty blender here to buff this in. Yeah, I'm really excited to do this, and especially to collab with Mel. Like I was saying, she's just such a great channel. I highly recommend her. It's so crazy to me that it's November, the day that I'm filming. I'm filming a little bit in advance because I'm going to be gone all weekend, so I'm filming on November 1st. And I just remember waking up and being like, oh my gosh, I get to flip. I love flipping the calendar. Is anyone else that way? I think it is the best. So when I was flipping my calendar, I was just like, yes, this is crazy. And I have 4 calendars. So there's that, and a planner. But one of my calendars in my office is a photo calendar, so I always love flipping it and seeing what the next month is, because I create these a year in advance, and so I'm always like, what's the next photo? And by the time we get down to this time frame, I'm like, what are the photos that I chose for October, November, December? November is a photo of me and my bestie at a concert, actually. So always fun. But welcome to November. For foundation, I'm going to use the Maybelline Fit Me, and I am like really scraping this foundation, or this concealer. Hopefully I said concealer. The Maybelline Fit Me Concealer in the shade Light, but I am just like scraping at the sides of this. I don't know how many of these concealers I have gone through, but it has been a lot. Gosh, this just reminded me of how much I love using beauty oils. I feel like I kind of back off the oils during like the warmer months here, but everything just glides on so much smoother. It just makes my, because I get really dry in the winter time. Oh, it just feels so nice. I'm glad I thought to bust that out, because I was like, how did I not have any primers in there? But yeah, there was definitely a time where I was not priming at all. My eyelids, my face, like, who needs primer? And now I'm like, I need primer. I need it. So I'm just going to go ahead and blend that in still with the Beauty Blender. But yeah, the Maybelline Fit Me has been a favorite of mine for such a long time. It was funny when Mel and I were talking about doing this video, and she was like, you know, would you want to do like revisiting old favorites? And I'm like, yes. And, or I think I actually said first, I said, do you want to do 2017? And she goes, well, let's go back a little bit farther. And I was like, ooh, because I could only do 2016 was as far back as I could go, because for 2015 I was still a book channel, so all I had for like a yearly favorites video was my favorite books. So I was like, how does 2016 sound? I was thinking about maybe still doing one for 2017 and just kind of chatting about like the year of 2018, since obviously I'll do a 2018 Best of Beauty at the end of this year, or like maybe early January, I'm not sure, whenever I can fit it in, honestly. And then maybe just chatting about, you know, 2018 as a year, because 2018 was a crazy year for me, like good and bad. So I don't know, maybe like a reflection video? Let me know what you guys think of that. But I thought it was fun to go back even farther, to watch me. Yikes. Sometimes watching old videos is just like so cringeworthy. It's like, oh goodness gracious. But yeah, so watching was fun, but then also being reminded of like, oh my gosh, yes, I loved that product. I love that product. And then going through my collection to see what I could use, because that was another thing. I was like, let me go through my collection and just make sure, especially because I feel like I've been on such a decluttering like streak lately. I was like, let me make sure I can actually do this before I say yes. To set my under eyes, I'm going to be using the Laura Mercier Secret Brightening Powder. This was my jam in 2016. I'm just going to use my Beauty Blender again. This powder, I remember getting it and being so intimidated because it is like stark white, and I was like, oh goodness, you actually know what you're doing. But man, I loved this powder, because 2016 would have been the year where super bright under eyes, like I was all for it. The brighter the under eyes, the better in my world back then. Because really in like 2017, I would say, or maybe it was, yeah, probably like end of 2017, I'm gonna guess, I really stopped using all loose powders. Like I just was not into loose powders at all. And now I'm slowly getting back on that train. I use the Moda Metallics diffuser brush and just make sure any extra powder is dusted away, because sometimes you can get a flashback, especially with such like the, you know, the brightening, the white powder. To set my face, I'm gonna use the Maybelline Better Skin Transforming Powder. Ooh, I used to love this stuff. It does have a little sponge in here, which I do like, but I'm gonna use my Stilazzi Buff Brush, the L313, just because this is just what I've been preferring to set the foundation these days. Such a pretty powder. It still stays with me in my my purse for like when I'm going out, because I really do like it. It has the mirror and it has the sponge. Like I said, it is good. So when you're going out, you can use it to touch up, which is great. But it's also in my 18 and 2018 project pan, and I said at the end of the year I should probably just declutter it, which is probably a good decision, because I've had it for many years now, so it's probably time to say goodbye. Okay, next up, I'm going to be using my Wet n Wild Mega Glow Contouring Palette in Dulce de Leche. Oh yes, this is actually my second one of these. My first one broke when I was traveling once, and I was devastated and I had to go out and buy it again. It's only like $5. I love the contour side and I love the setting powder side also. If I didn't have that Laura Mercier, I probably just would have used this one, but I'm going to use the contour side. I'm going to use my Moda Metallics contour brush and just do a little contour here. Moving along to bronzer, I'm going to be using my Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. This guy is also in my 18 and 2018 Project Pan. I'm going to be using my Sigma F30. Oh man, I even said in my last check-in, I was like, I think I'm almost there. Like I can feel it. I think I'm going to hit pan. And I still haven't. But I still have that feeling that like, I think I'm going to soon. But I mean, the butter bronzer took like everybody by storm back then. I think this was the first item that I ever purchased from Physicians Formula. Like I always saw them, like especially at, you know, CVS and such, when I would be like walking through the aisles trying to find some makeup to buy. I always saw the Physicians Formula, but they were more expensive for drugstore. You know, I'm thinking like Maybelline, you know, L'Oreal, Rimmel, all of that. Even like NYX is a little bit more expensive, but Physicians Formula was even more expensive. So I was like, no, I'm not buying that. I'm at CVS, girl. Like I'm buying 2-for-1 bags of chocolate and you want me to spend $15 on a bronzer. No, that's not happening. But then I finally did it. I succumbed. But it was because I don't know how I can remember this, but I remember I bought it because they were having like it was either buy one get one free or buy one get one half off for the bronzers. I don't remember. Or for Physicians Formula just in general. And so that's when I bought one, and I also bought like a little palette for like a giveaway from Physicians Formula, so then I could get, you know, one of them was half off or whatever, so I felt better about life with that coupon. So for blush, I'm going to be coming into the Becca and Jaclyn Hill Champagne Glow face palette. This face palette, I wanted so bad, but it was like $54 or something, but I still went and got it. And you know what? I still really enjoy this face palette. I still reach for it quite a bit. It has made it through several declutters. We got the blush shades, we got the highlight shades. I still really enjoyed this palette. I'm going to use the center shade, which is Amaretto, I believe it is. Yeah, Amaretto. And it's more of like a neutral blush, but I just think it is so, I just think it's so pretty. I'm using the Moda Metallics Angled brush, which has become like a favorite blush brush of mine recently. Okay, I might have gone just like a tad bit hard on the blush, but man, this was like my most used blush, like the summer of 2016. I believe, is when I just used this blush like crazy. Okay, while my camera cools down, I'm just going to do my brows off camera since I normally can't talk while doing my brows. And I've done a couple brow tutorials on camera recently, like trying new products. But I'm using the Benefit Goof Proof. Both Goof Proof and Precisely My Brow were mentioned in that video. Not shocking to me, and these are both still favorites of mine. I still use them all the time. So yeah, I'm just going to do some Goof Proof and then we'll be back. So moving over to the eyes. So I had listed a lot of eyeshadow palettes in there, quite a few. I had most of them still in my collection. I think there was just one that I decluttered. And I was trying to decide what to do. Oh, maybe there was two that I decluttered. And I almost chose the Modern Renaissance, mostly just because that's still such a loved on eyeshadow palette. And then I said, no, you know what you need to use. And it is these ColourPop Super Shock eyeshadows, because if you've been watching my 18 and 2018 Project Pan, I am getting nowhere on these. And it's funny how I feel like I pulled quite a few products from that 2016 Best of video into my Project Pan, but I have had these for a very long time, had these for a very long time. I don't necessarily love them anymore, but I was like, I feel like I should at least be able to hit pan on these, because the ColourPop Super Shock shadows, I've hit pan on other ones before. I feel like you don't get a ton of product in these, you know, but they're only $5. It's 0.07 ounces, so you don't get a ton of product, but I'm like, how have I not hit pan on either of these? And I used to love, the shadow names are Truth and Lala. I used to love pairing these together so much. Oh no, you have to close these really tightly, and I can't open it because my hands are all, well, that was awkward. Wow, that took me forever to get these open. Like my wrists hurt from trying to open them. Okay, another reason why I don't love the Super Shock shadows, because if you didn't close them super tightly, they would dry out. But here is Truth and then Lala. So Lala is a really pretty rose gold. I feel like I'm making some, like, yeah, you can kind of see that little indentation of the pan. And then Truth is just like a really pretty like beige kind of satiny color. But this used to be like my go-to look, like especially if I was in a hurry, just these two together. But I don't know, ever since I put them in my Project Pan, like I just cannot make headway on them. So you can use your fingers with these. I know a lot of people like to. I personally don't like using my fingers really at all. So I'm just taking my Sigma E40 brush, just a big blending brush. And what I do is I just lay Truth down like all over the lid. Like, yeah, I blend it into my crease, but like I just put it all over the lid, make it look a little blended, and then I come in and I just pop La La down. And I can take this all the way up to the brow bone because it has that like kind of shimmer to it. So I really just kind of go to town on this shade. Most of it gets covered up, but you know, I'll put a little bit in that inner corner there. Alrighty, and then taking Lala, I'm just taking, this is kind of like overkill, but it's the Dalium Tools Bold Concealer 937. I use it a lot of times for shadows more than I do it for concealer. I'm cleaning my brushes, so a bunch of my brushes are still either by the sink or drying right now. So I'm just gonna grab some of that and then just pop that on the lid also. I would think that this shade works better with your fingers, but again, I used to use it with my fingers, but it's just not really my thing lately these days. So I'm just taking that and applying that onto the lid. And I'm not kidding, like this is the eye look that I used to do. Like, I don't know how I thought like this is good. This seems right, but I really did. Like, now I'm that person that I'm definitely like, oh, I need a matte in my crease and all of that. And I'm like looking back on what I used to do, like, girl, you used to just put some satin shades all over your eyes and call it a day. Thought you were beautiful. It's all good. I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of hoping right now would be the time that I hit pan on Lala. But it didn't happen. That's fine, that's fine. It's fine. So eyeliners, I really did not have a lot of eyeliners still in my collection that I mentioned in that 2016 video, which I guess isn't super surprising because, you know, eyeliners is one of those things that maybe I can go through kind of quickly. But I did mention the Sigma Wicked Gel Eyeliner, which I do still have, but I use that as a wing. But I thought for my waterline, I could use the Sigma Wicked Longwear Eyeliner Pencil. So this is just a gel eyeliner, and it's really, really nice in the waterline. It's very easy to apply, and it stays on like all day and all night. So I'm just gonna go ahead and apply that pencil into my waterline. It might look like a little, like I'd probably do a brown with this eye look, but that's fine. I am planning on filming another video after this, so might have to try to figure out how to switch up this eye look. I'm actually gonna pull my Modern Renaissance just to add a lower lash line color. I think I'm just gonna come in with some raw sienna here on the end and just smudge that out on the lower lash line. I'm just using the Moda Crease and Smudge Brush, using the smudge side to add a little bit to the lower lash line. So for mascara, I actually really didn't have many of the mascaras that I listed in there either. There was a Maybelline one in there, so I thought about grabbing out my Maybelline Total Temptation. I mentioned the Lash Sensational, I think it was, in the 2016 video. I have the Total Temptation now, which I really enjoy, but I actually just got this from Benefit. It's their Roller Lash, and I did mention that one in the video. Benefit just accepted me to their Benefit Club Pink, so they sent me a box of like, I don't know, like all of their products. It was really crazy. It was such a huge box, but it had all their mascaras in there, which really excited me, and I do love the Roller Lash a lot. I've gone through several of them. This was one of like my first like higher end mascaras that I was purchasing, and I still really enjoy this one. So I feel a little guilty opening it because I've had a couple mascaras that I wanted to open first, but we're doing it. We're doing it for the YouTube. We're doing it for the YouTube. It really is crazy how good this mascara is. So my mascara is on. I did want to say I did feature lashes in that video, obviously, but the only lashes that I still have in my collection from that video are the Huda Beauty Samantha lashes. These are obviously not the ones from 2016, these are new ones, but the Samantha lashes were some of like my most repurchased pairs, and I feel like I only have like a use, maybe two left out of these lashes, but I really didn't feel like they would go with this like very simple kind of funky eye look we got going on at the moment. So, but I did just want to mention that. But I had a few other lashes listed in there, but the only ones I still currently own are from Huda Beauty. So to finish it off with highlight, I'm coming back into the Becca and Jaclyn Hill palette, and I feel like, so we have Champagne Pop and Prosecco Pop. I think I'm just gonna use Champagne Pop because I remember, I mean, the Champagne Pop craze was, I feel like, happening, was it all through 2016? or she had already released that and then she releases palette. I can't remember for sure, but I'm gonna use Champagne Pop just in the spirit of like really throwing things back, and I'm gonna use the Moda, this is the Highlight and Glow brush from the Metallics line. I'm kind of surprised I never hit pan on Champagne Pop, to be honest, because I used it a ton, especially after like getting this palette too. I had, well, that's probably why I didn't. I had a regular Champagne Pop. That's why. And then I got this palette, but I believe my original Champagne Pop, I think it shattered, and I tried to do like that alcohol thing on it. I cannot do that. I cannot repress makeup to save my life. I've tried a couple times with highlighters, and I think maybe there was an eyeshadow I tried it with once too, and I just do not have the skills. I think I don't have the patience. It's probably the patience is what it is. I'm not someone who's real known like in my social circle and family life for having a buku amount of patience. So I'm just gonna add a little bit of Champagne Pop, run just a little bit down my nose. I'm still really feeling that Farsali oil, I am not gonna lie. But okay, so that is the highlight, and then just to finish it off with lip color, oh my gosh, it was so funny looking through the lipstick section and just hearing me talk about the lipsticks. Like, I've always had a lipstick obsession, okay? But one that I still have in my collection, quite a few of them I didn't have anymore, which I thought was interesting. But one that I do still have is one from ColourPop. This is in collaboration with Kathleen Lights, and it's in 0.0. I think this is an ultra satin lip, but if you can see, everything is like worn away on here. So I want to say this one was an ultra satin lip, but it's just kind of a really cool, funky color. I don't know if it's going to match this whole vibe that we got going on the best, but you know, it's fine. This isn't like a tutorial. I'm not like showing you how to put makeup looks together. We're revisiting our old favorites. Hello. So I'm just going to go ahead and add some of this. Oh yeah, see, I forgot how like funky that is. I made it through so many declutters. Like, I've decluttered a lot of ColourPop lipsticks because the formula doesn't last super long, but I would not declutter this one. Let's be a little bit careful there, Samantha. Because it's just such a different color and one that I don't have a lot of. Or really not a lot like this at all. So this is what a 0.0 looks like. It's a very different color for me, but I feel like it does. It does match. It matches. It matches this look and the vibe and, you know, the sports bra that we got going on today. But yeah, okay, so after that, that's gonna wrap it up for today's video. Revisiting some of my old favorites, getting ready with some of my favorite products from my 2016 Best of Beauty video. I'd love to know what you thought down below. I can't wait to watch Mel's video and see which products she still had in her collection that she'd be able to use for today's video. Make sure to go check out our channel. I'll have it linked down below, but I'd love to know what you thought. What are some of your old favorites, you know, maybe from like 2 years ago, 3 years ago, that you still have in your collection? Maybe you're trying to use up. I'd also love to know if you would want to see that 2017 kind of like wrap up video. And of course, I'll be doing a Best of Beauty for 2018 coming up shortly here. So yeah, I hope that you guys enjoyed today's video. Thank you to Mel for collabing with me on this one. I hope that you'll give this one a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Make sure to subscribe before you go, and I'll catch you guys in tomorrow's video. Bye.